Okay, let's get started. Okay, so how do you create a container using Docker run command, right? So if you want to list all containers, we use Docker ps-a. So we have 3 containers. Container has its name, and container has its own ID also. Okay. So you can remove the container, Docker rm, silly, jovial, romantic. So you can give either container name, or you can give the container ID also. So for example, for this one, let me use ID. Docker ps-a. See, all containers are deleted. So you can use either a container name or container ID. And this is how we create the container, right? So for example, we have a host and operating system. And on top of operating system, that means in this mission, you install Docker tool. And using Docker, you can create a container. This is your Docker OS, RAM, CPU, hard disk, some resource. So this is the command we use. Docker run -it, right? And then Ubuntu /bin/bash, correct? So the moment you run this Docker run, it will create a container. It will virtualize the hardware, and then it will also bring kernel from your host, and then it downloads this particular Ubuntu image from Docker Hub, and then it extracts it. So you get Ubuntu container, correct? Okay. So I'm going to create a new container, Docker run -it Ubuntu /bin/bash. So it downloads this image first time. Okay. First time, if this it will check if the image is already present or not. If the image is already present, it will not download again and again because the image is already downloaded in your host. So where that image is, you'll understand that later. So I have created a container. Now, sometimes people don't believe that it don't believe it as a separate mission, right? People ask a lot of questions. Okay, how quickly this quickly content can be created, right? People think it as a lightweight mission. Sometimes people ask questions. Can I run can I run database in this mission? Can I run mission critical applications, large scale enterprise applications, and things like that? Yes, you can. Whatever you can do in your a virtual mission or physical mission or standalone mission, you can do everything in container. Don't think that it's a not suitable for running database or large scale applications and things like that.
से आंटी को पहले अवश्य मेंटर आंटी को
Go on mute, Subhashri. So you can run anything in the container. As I mentioned before, I guess Google search, Google file system, Drive, Gmail, kind of critical large scale enterprise applications are running on containers today. Okay. It is just that you should know how to configure the security things, how to do the things in the container. So if you configure all those things properly, container can be used for anything. Okay. Let's inspect our container. See, this container has its own name. Okay. So what is the name of my mission? Vaikalti. Okay, host name. You can give a different host name. for your container. Since we have not configured, I have not configured the host name. I have not configured the host name. Since we have not configured the host name, it is by default taking that container ID as host name. If you want to change, if you want to give your own host name, you can do that as well. Okay. Say, for example, you want to give the host name for your container, you can do this docker run. Only at the time of creating a container, you can change the host name. Docker run -it ubuntu /bash, right? So if you want to give the host name, just use -h. For example, cat server. See, host name. It is a host name. So once you create a container, just have a quick check. Just type the host name. See, it has its own host name, right? Assume that I create another container. So again, you have another container here, kernel, and then say your operating system. You can run application 1 here, and then maybe application 2 here. Okay. This is your Ubuntu OS. So the moment you create a container, Docker allocates a separate host name for it. Docker allocates a separate IP address for it. See this host name -i. You're going to check the IP address. See, this particular mission has got its own IP address. Okay. And PWD, right? LS. See, this particular container has got its own operating system files and folders, correct? Say, for example, this is the terminal, green color. This terminal is from my Linux, correct? This is the Linux virtual machine. This terminal is from Linux, and then here I'm in a container, correct? So if you go to this Linux cd / okay, pwd ls, I have operating system files and folders. But remember, this particular Linux virtual machine is created with 5 GB operating system code, correct? It's a virtual machine, right? So with 5 GB OS image, I have created this machine, and it has got its own, say operating system files and folders. See, container, we have not supplied OS, correct? So here you have operating system created virtually. Even you don't, you have not created this container with 5 GB, it has got its own operating system files and folders, bin, boot, dev, etc, home, right? See this? Bin, boot, etc, home, dev, all this stuff. So now, so what? So you can think this container as a separate mission. Yes, it's a mission. You can do anything, whatever you do in your virtual machine. So it has got its own, right, operating system files and folders. It has got its own host name, right? It has got its own IP address. Okay. It has its own, host file. For example, we can say cat etc hosts. So this is the file where you configure network related things. Okay. If you want to change, if you want to configure any network related things for this particular mission, right? This is where we configure it. Okay. See, this virtual machine has cat etc hosts. Okay. So container also has got its own networking capabilities, correct? It has got its own host name, own IP address. It has got its own operating system files and folders. It has got its own networking capabilities because that file is there, right? And ps-er. So ps-er. See, if I am running something in this particular mission, right, it will be shown here only. That means it's a separate mission, right? Even though you have 10 containers running in this host, right? So these missions are independent. So whatever you are running here, application 1, don't interfere with application 2, which is running in another container. So it has got its own processes. It has got its own processes. So what else is required for you to consider this as a separate mission? Yes, it's a perfect mission. Don't have to worry. Believe that it's a separate mission. Don't have to worry that, I cannot do, can I do this, can I do that, and things like that. So that's the beauty of Docker, right? So even though, without installing operating system, you are able to create a perfect mission within less than a second. And you can do, right, whatever you want there. You can use it for anything. Understand this? Any questions you have? See, I just wanted to show you some facts so that you believe that it's a perfect mission. So I've given all those things in the notes. Okay, just run all these commands: host name, IP address, and things like that. Just check once.
So I have one small question over here.
Mhm.
Like after, like you told, it has the host name has its own IP and all. So later again, two more commands you have run. Like, can you please scroll up so I can tell you exactly in that notes itself. This one, sir, from here I did not get exactly after the creation of its own IP. PS-EF, what does it like?
I did not get a question.
Like after you told, like the host name has its own IP and all, after putting the command, next you have told about PS-EF. What does it like? From there I'm little like got confused.
So I was telling,
The fifth from
container
fifth.
gets its own host name, right? Name of the
Yes.
mission.
Yeah.
It has got its own etc host file. So if you have this etc host file, you can configure any network related things here. If this
Okay.
if this file is present, means you can configure network related things, like which mission can talk to this mission and things like that. So we are not
Mm-hmm.
experts in network engineering, but you can configure network related things. That means it has got its own network related securities and things like that.
Okay. Okay.
Like you have the same in any other missions.
Mm-hmm.
So it has its own IP address, it has its own processes, right? And then
Processes.
you go to CD slash, you'll be having its own operating system, right? Files and folders.
Okay.
And Docker ps-a command output. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Serious, everybody. Let's explore some, other Docker management commands. So Docker ps-a. Okay. I have two containers. One is Mystify, second is Pensive. So up means this container is up and running, right? See, this is the one. 6D14E. 6D14E. So this is no, up and running. Exited means the machine is in shutdown mode. It's like you log into your virtual machine and then you do something and then you shut it down, right? So here the container is in shutdown mode. So let me create some more containers. Exit to stop the container. That means shut down the container. I just want to have few more containers. Okay. Exit. 1 second. Say for example, Docker run. How do you come out of this particular terminal without stopping it? Control PQ. Okay. So I'm going to create another container. Control PQ. So we have a lot of containers. You can check all the containers now. Docker ps-a. 1 second. My kids are screaming. Sorry. So I have 5 containers, right? In 5 out of 5, 2 containers are running, and then 3 containers are in shutdown mode. Okay. Assume that I want to list only running containers. ps-a lists all container -a. Okay. If you want to list only running containers, use this command docker ps. Docker ps lists only running containers. Okay. So if you want to list only running containers, use docker ps command. Okay. If you want to list all containers, docker ps-a. Okay. Right. So you know how to list only running containers. How do you list only stopped containers? Stopped containers means containers which are in shutdown mode. So if you want to list only stopped containers, you can use this command. Docker ps-a list all. Okay. But I'm not interested in all. Follow this format -f status is equal to exited. See, it is showing you only the containers which are not running. So Docker ps-a list all. In that I'm filtering. Okay. Remember that way. -f filtering based on the status. You see the status here. Status exited. Okay. So I say status is equal to exited. So it will list all the containers whose status is exited. Using this approach, you can also list all running containers. For example, I can also say running here. Don't say up, you have to give running, okay? So this will list only running containers. So that's how you list only running containers, only stopped containers. Clear this?
Sir, you can also use this filter for other parameters, right?
For other parameters, I think should work. Status, I don't think it'll work for other things. I never used it. I think it's only for status. You want me to check? I don't think it'll work for others. Usually we don't need others, but no, it won't work.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so when you create a container, Docker gives some name randomly. It gives some random name, right? What if I want to create the container with my own name? You can do that as well. For that, you can say docker run -it. Just use one option, okay? -name. Name followed by name. I'll call it as a Tomcat server. Because I want to run Tomcat server in this particular container. So I'm calling it as Tomcat server. Okay. See this Docker ps-a. So there is a container with the name called Tomcat server. Usually, when we create the container, we give our own name: Tomcat server, database server, Tomcat server -sit, and things like that. So you can give any name. Whatever you're doing in that container, give some name for that. Right? Okay.
Sir, host name is different from the container name.
Yeah, host name is different, container name is different. Container name we use for identifying it. You want to remove the container, docker rm container name. You want to log into the container, docker, for example, attach container name. Host name is to connect to that mission. Say I want to connect to I have a container somewhere in the somewhere in US. I want to connect to that. I can connect to that machine using its IP address or a host name, right? So that's a host name. So host name is like for general, say any virtual machine or any machine you take, that will be having IP address host name, right? Same thing here. So this name is only for Docker. This is related to Docker only. Using Docker commands, if you want to log in, if you want to stop the container, if you want to start the container, then we use container name. Okay.
And suppose if we are inside the container, can't we change the IP address and host name?
You can change, like, so for virtual machines also we can change the IP address, right? If you want, you can fix a a static IP. You can do anything whatever we do in virtual machine.
Like same as we do like Ethernet 0 and all those we change. So same inside container also we can do it, right?
Yes, we can do.
Sir,
So-
I'm still facing problem with installation of Docker. I have installed the operating system with newer version 20. Till
we'll check later, okay, at the end.
okay, sir.
Okay, so you can give your own name for your container, right? So for example, I have a container, okay, with the name Tomcat server. But I want to create a new container with the same name. Understand the point? There is a container with Tomcat server with the name Tomcat server. I want to create a new one with the same name, with a different stuff. So what do you do? Can multiple containers have the same name? No, right? So I'm creating another container with the same name. See what it says? It says error response from daemon. Daemon means Docker. It says there's a conflict. The container in Tomcat server is already in use by another container whose ID is this. Okay. It says you have to either remove the container or rename the container. So if you want to create a new container with the same name, two options. One, you can rename this and then create a new container with the same name, or you can delete it. So in those kind of scenarios, we can rename a container also. How do you rename a container? Docker rename, old name, new name. Tomcat server hyphen QES, for example. See, container name is changed. Now I can create a new container with the same name. Tomcat server. See, this is the new one and this is the old one. So you can also give your own name. You can also rename a container. Say, for example, I have I'm listing all containers. You can also list the last container that you created. PS-A will list all. If you want to list the last container that you have created, then use -L. L means last. This one. Or say, for example, this is listing all containers. I want to list recent 2 containers, N2. You can also list given number of containers, N2. Most recent 2, N3. List only the recent one, N1. Okay. So Docker PS-A, PS-L, PS-N2, N3, N4. You can give some number also. All these comments are listed here. If you want to list all the images, you can use this command. Docker images. I have a lot of images. Let me remove all these things first. Okay. So that you can see things from scratch. Docker RM. Tomcat server. Okay, how do you list? Sorry, how do you remove the containers? See.
Docker. Okay.
Docker.
Rename.
No, sorry. How do you
RM, Docker RM.
RM. Okay.
Docker RM? So
I
remove
will
it.
Container name.
Container name, that is Tomcat server. Okay, you can also give multiple container names. That's how you remove a container. Okay, right. See, I'm removing a stopped container. Okay, remember, I'm removing stopped container. I can remove it. Okay, Docker ps-a. What if I want to remove a running container? Is it possible? Let's see. Docker rm, say compassionate. See what it says. It says cannot remove a container because it is running. By default, you cannot remove a running container, but you can use force option and then forcefully remove a container. See, it's removed now. There is no compassion. So that's how you remove a running container. Okay. So let me remove all other containers. Docker rm -f ps-a Docker rm -f stupefied Docker rm distracted pensive mystified. I don't have any containers type. Okay, and if you list the images, we use command called images. Okay, so I have these many images stored in my machine. Don't worry about the command that I'm typing now. You will understand it later.
Sir, while removing, so instead of container name, can I put container ID?
Yes, you can do. So you can use container name or container ID, anything you can use anywhere. Okay.
Okay.
Say this Docker images. Okay. I don't have any images yet, right? Fine. So if you want to list all the images, what is the command we use? Docker images. I don't have any images. Let's create a new container. Docker run -it -name, for example, Tomcat server. Okay, Ubuntu /bin/bash. Okay. Sorry for the long. The kids are fighting today. So Docker run -it. Okay, so this is the name and image. So I'm creating a new container. See, there is no image, right? Since there is no image, what it says? Unable to find image. Okay, it says pulling from the Docker hub, and finally it's able to create a container. And you want to check whether that image is available or not. See Docker images. This is the image. So this is the image name. Like container has a name and ID, right? Same thing here. Image also has a name and then ID. This image is created 12 days ago. And this is the size of the image, 101 MB. I want to create another container, which is CentOS. Since there is no image, it is downloading it. See, there is a CentOS image. This is the image ID created 3 years ago. Okay. And that's how you list the images. Say, I want to create another Ubuntu container. Since image is already present, it will not download now. See, I'm giving a different name. DB server. Since image is already there, it is not downloading it. Okay, that's how you list the images and things like that. Assume that you want to remove the image. You know how to remove the container. What if you want to remove the image? Simple. Docker RM is for the container. It will remove the container. If you want to remove image, RMI. Remove image, RMI. Remember that way. And then you can give image name like this. Ubuntu, CentOS, and so on. See, image name contains two things. One, the name, and then its tag. It's a version. Okay, you'll understand more about this later. So CentOS, and then that's a tag. So you can just give only CentOS also if you have only one. Both the images are removed. Okay, there is one more here. Okay, see this, one second. Docker images. I'm trying to remove this image. Okay, Docker RMI Ubuntu. Okay, enter. See what it says. Conflict. Unable to remove the image. Okay, you have to force it because this container is using this image. Very simple. If an image is in use by another container, you cannot by default remove it. By default, you cannot remove it like this. Understand this? If image is in use by some container, you cannot remove it by default, but you can remove with a force option. Assume that you have the image and you don't have any containers created from that image. You can remove them. But if you want to remove a container, sorry, if you want to remove an image which is in use by some container, use -f option. Now it's been removed. That's how you remove containers. That's how you remove images. Clear with removing images and then containers?
So, but just now you have used Docker RMI -f Ubuntu CentOS.
Since CentOS was say earlier I was having two. Okay.
Okay.
Ubuntu and then CentOS, right? Since CentOS was not in use, that got deleted.
Mm-hmm.
So I use this command, right? This one. I use this command first.
First, yes. No.
Yeah. So this was removed because
Yes.
there's no container with this one which is using this image. So that's the reason that was removed, and then there was only one. This was not
Ubuntu.
removed. This was not removed because it is in use by some container. So for that,
Okay.
I used -f.
Okay, hyphen. Without -f also, I think we can. It's a conflict. Okay.
Okay.
Without it.
Yeah, without -f, you cannot remove the image if any container is using it. Clear, right, Purnima?
Yeah. Yes. If it is in the use, then we are using that Ubuntu kind, or else we won't use that CentOS.
No. One second.
I got confused.
One second. Docker images. I don't have any images. Okay. Let me download some images. Okay, Ubuntu. There is no image, so it is downloading it. Let me remove all containers also once. DB server, Tomcat server. I don't have any containers. I don't have any images.
Yeah.
Okay, there is one image. Let me remove it also. No images, no containers.
No containers.
Yeah. Let's create one, container.
Container. Okay.
Docker run -it
Hyphen name.
name, for example,
Okay.
DB server. Okay. Ubuntu.
Mm-hmm.
So this will,
Bin bash.
yeah, this will download the image and create the container.
Okay. Yeah.
Done. So Docker images, right? Docker ps-e Docker images. See, there
Ubuntu, right?
is a container, right? This container is using this image. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
can I remove this image by default? Docker
Yes.
rm Ubuntu.
Ubuntu layer. Yeah.
I cannot.
Okay.
Because image, there is a container and the container is using this image. That's the reason it is not allowed.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yes, sir, I got it.
So in that case, how do you remove that image? You can use -f option.
Hyphen F. Okay.
So assume that you have some image and there is no container from it. You can remove it without hyphen also.
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Sir, if multiple container are created using a image, then if the image is deleted, then all the containers will be deleted.
No. So for example, you have 10 containers created from some image, 10 containers created from Ubuntu image. If you remove the image, containers won't be deleted. No, containers will be there. See, once the container is created, there is no relation between the container and image. So you can remove the image.
Okay.
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 Fine. Say I have some containers. Okay. I want to have multiple containers. If you want to exit, you can also press the shortcut Control D. Exit. I just want to have some containers to show you some command. So container 2, exit, 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 exit. Say this. Docker ps-v. I have a lot of containers. Assume that I want to remove all these containers. I want to remove all containers at once. How do you remove? One way is what? Docker
PS. Sorry, RM.
Yeah. Nervous, sad, laughing, hardcore, and things like that, right? So giving the container names or IDs is very different, like this. Is there any better way, better command, using which you can delete all containers at once? Yes. See the trick that I am following here. Docker ps-e, right?
Yeah, is all containers.
Docker ps-a-q. I'm using one more option called q. Let's see what happens. See, this particular q is giving only the ID. Okay. And when it comes to Docker RM, right, you can give the container name like this, or you can give the ID also, right? You can give the ID also. Anything we can give. So Docker RM accepts either container name or container ID. Okay. So what I'm doing here, ps-a will list all. I'm listing only IDs. You want to list only IDs, use -q. Q means quite output, less output. What is that less output here? Only the IDs. Now you see what I'm doing. Can we combine these both commands now? Docker RM and then this command. Clear?
It includes container name also, ID also.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Docker ps-a-q is listing all IDs, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 IDs. So Docker RM And then you got this 6 IDs here, correct? This command output is what? 6 IDs. So Docker RM will take the first ID and then remove it. Second ID will remove it. 3, 4, 5, 6 ID, remove it. So you can also combine these two commands. And this will remove all your containers.
Does it works like pipe?
That's a Linux concept. You can think, it works like this. This also works like that. Okay, see this, everybody? But it is not working. Why? Let's see. Docker RM, correct? It is thinking this as a container ID, sorry, container name. Okay. There is no container with this name, ignoring it. It is thinking this as container name. There is no name for, there is no container with that name. Then -a, it is thinking that as a container name. But container name cannot start with -a, so it is throwing that error. So basically, what's happening here is, this is not running as a command. Okay, our expectation is what? This has to be executed as a command. We get IDs, and Docker RM will go to each and every ID and then remove it. That's the expectation, correct? But this is not running as a command. See this? Echo. Okay, so you have a command called date, correct? It will display the date. Okay. Echo date. Is it displaying the value of this particular command? No. Correct. So it is, echo command is thinking this as a normal string. Okay, it's thinking that as a normal string, but it is not executing that as a command. If you want to execute something as a command, when you use two commands, surround that with dollar brackets like this. So if you put something inside this dollar bracket, okay, you know what? This will be executed as a command. That will be treated as a command. See, echo, and this is the output. It is running it as a command, and then you see the output. Same thing you have to do here. So here, I'll just surround this with dollar brackets. That's a Linux concept, okay? So what will happen now? This is executed as a command. This will be executed as a command because it is in dollar brackets, okay? So now I'll get all these IDs, and then Docker RM, what is, you are giving all these IDs as input, right? So it will remove all of them. See, all containers are deleted. That's how you delete all containers. Clear with this? Any questions you have?
Yeah, I have one question. Is there any limit of, for one container contains only this limit of images? Is there anything limitation?
We create the container from image. What's the
Yeah.
question? That means container is created from the image.
Yeah.
Okay, your question now?
No, what I'm asking, is there any limitation for creating images?
We don't create the image, right? We are creating containers, no?
From container only images we are creating, right? You are telling reverse from images we are creating container.
Both are possible, but
Okay.
we'll discuss other thing later. Say,
Oh.
this is your Ubuntu image. This is your Ubuntu image. Okay. So from image, we create the container, emission. Container means emission. Container. So from image only, we create the container. Without image, we cannot create the container. Of course, this is also possible. From container also, we can create the image. We'll look at that later.
One image only create one container or multiple containers?
Multiple containers. You can
Yeah.
if you have the image, you
Yeah.
can create millions of containers.
Yeah.
One, container two, container three.
Mm.
It's like a blueprint. Image is like a blueprint. If you have one, you can get millions of containers from that image.
Container have different names. I mean, IDs, container ID is different. Name also should be different, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
See this. I have Ubuntu, right? What it will do? First time I run this command, docker run -it Ubuntu, it will create one container, first container. If I run this command again second time, again it will get a new container. Okay, and then it will extract this. Again, it will bring the image and then it will do it. And if this image is already installed in your host, it will use that. So you can create any number of containers from one image.
Got.
Okay.
Sir, if in case we required, then can we use dollar bracket, nested dollar bracket also inside that dollar bracket?
Nested dollar bracket, yes, should
Yes.
work. Should work.
Or multiple dollar brackets together.
Should work. Should work, lovely. Fine.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, say this thoroughly. What happened? Why it is crashed? Okay, because of charging was less. Docker ps I don't have any containers. Let's create some containers. Okay, docker run docker run -it ubuntu /bin/bash control D exit. Control PQ. I want to have few containers. I'm opening another terminal. Docker ps-a. So for example, I have some stopped containers, running containers. I want to delete only stopped containers. How do you delete?
Before we have given like status is equal to exit, right? So in the bracket, we will give along with the dollar.
Perfect, yeah. So if you want to delete only the stopped containers, somehow you have to list all stopped containers IDs, correct? So let's see. Let me first list only stopped containers. How do you list only stopped containers? Docker ps-a. Okay. And then -f filter. I'm not interested in all. Filter whose status is equal to exited, correct? So you are able to, list only stopped containers. Now, shall we list only IDs? How do you list only IDs? -q.
-q.
Yeah. Same thing you give in the $bar, as I said. So docker rm and then same thing.
Status.
Correct. Simple. Again, see this. Docker ps-a list all. Okay.
So just for IDs, we are giving that -q, or else for just stopping the container, we are giving till exited.
Exit is for stopping the container.
Stopping the container for a particular ID or something, we mention as -q.
If you want to list only the IDs of a container, we use -q.
-q. Okay.
See this, everybody? My question is,
Sir, I have a query. Sorry for the disturbance. If suppose we have to give the container name means, what command we will use apart from this ID?
you can use the container name.
Okay.
Prost.
No. If it is one, is it okay? Like for multiple more than one means how it will be? Like we have a bunch of containers.
This is the only option, -q, because you cannot list only the names.
Okay.
-q you can, but only names. See, if you know only names, if you know some way to list only names, you can give the names also here instead of IDs.
Okay. If it is few, we can use directly the names. If it is more than n numbers means, then we can use the container, right? ID.
Come again.
Sorry, if it is few, we can use the name directly. If it is more number means, then we can use the container ID, right? For the purpose of exit or doing some process.
No, the question is wrong. I mean, I think we have to reframe the question. So, see this, everybody. Don't get confused. Clear? List all containers. How do you remove a container? Docker rm. You can give the container name like this, correct? Okay, Docker ps-a. This is deleted. You can also remove a container by its ID. For example, I don't want to give the name. I want to give the ID. Removed. Okay, it's not removing because it's running. So I'll give -f. So force. You can remove a container by its name or ID. Clear with that, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Remove the container by its ID or name. So you can use like this or like this, or you can give the name also. Done. Now I want to delete only the stopped containers. Okay. So shall we list only stopped containers first?
Yes.
How to list only stopped containers?
Docker, yes, status -f.
Yeah,
Status.
filter, right?
Yeah.
Done. -a. List all, but I'm not interested in all. Filter containers whose status is equal to exited.
Filter. Okay.
We're able to get only exited containers. Now, assume that you have 100 containers. Okay, we have to remove all, say for example. If you want to remove all, we have a trick, right? What's the trick?
Queues.
This is the trick, correct?
Yeah.
So, what is this trick? I'm listing IDs. See, somehow here you have to bring, in this place, you have to bring all IDs or all names also you can bring. That's okay. If you know some command, for example, using some Linux command, you can list only this also. But listing only the names here and then providing is little difficult. That's the reason Docker has given one option for you. Okay. So -q. They say just use -q. So -q will give ID. You can give names also here using some command. You can put some command here in the dollar brackets and then you can get the names also. Anything is fine. Okay. So now Docker ps-a. So, okay. How do you list only the IDs of these two stopped containers now?
Docker ps
-a.
-q.
Just say -q. Sorry.
The q you have missed.
-q. Okay. So it is giving only this. So somehow you have to bring all IDs or all names. Okay. Now shall we combine this? Two commands. Docker rm.
Dollar. Yeah.
So what will happen now? Docker rm.
Removes this.
Yeah, Docker rm. So here we have to supply either names of all containers that you want to delete, IDs of all containers that you want to delete. So in my case, displaying the ID is very easy. So what I'm doing, so I'm displaying the IDs of the containers that I want to delete. ps-a. See, stopped containers are removed. We have only running containers. Any questions there?
No, sir, I'm clear now. Thank you.
Kesha, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What was your question, Kesha?
Yeah, actually, I thought to ask you another command is there. Any other command is there for multiple removal of by using container name. If two or more means directly we can put the name over there. So now shortcut you are listing like more
No,
by
even
using
if
container
even if
ID.
you have 1 second. Even if you have 100 also, we'll get 100 IDs, right? Here.
Yeah.
Right? Even if you have 100 or 1 or 2, doesn't matter. If you use
Okay.
-q, you will get all IDs, 100,000 or whatever.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Now, see, now instead of giving the IDs here, you are bringing this is bringing IDs, correct? Right?
Yes.
Use some Linux command. Write some Linux command which will give you only this,
Okay.
only this two or this column. Maybe
Okay.
you have 100. Somehow using some Linux command, you can list, you have to list all these 100 names. And doing that is very difficult. It is possible, but it's not so easy.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Mhm. Okay, now I have some containers, say for example, -id ubuntu /bin/bash. Control D is to stop the container. I want to stop it, okay? I just want to have some containers. Okay, so I have some stopped containers, I have some running containers. Now, can somebody tell me the command to remove all running containers?
Status is equal to running.
Status is equal to
Execute.
Running.
Up.
run. Up, not up. We have to say running. Up to
Running. Yes.
yeah, running. Basically, you got the point. Yeah, you got the logic. So I'm happy. Okay, clear with this? You're able to show
Ye-
the points again. Docker ps-a. Okay, and then -f status is equal to running. Correct. And if you want to list the only IDs, q. Okay, same thing we are giving here. ps-a. Okay, -f status is equal to running -q. Cannot remove the container. Cannot remove the container. Why? Why?
Maybe it's running on, so we can't remove it. We can force by it by
Yes.
using iPhone.
Yes. You are low, right, everybody? You cannot remove running containers by default, correct? If you want to remove a running container, you have to use force option, right? Docker rm -f. Remove all running containers. Docker. So let me create some containers. Control PQ. Understand the concepts. Okay. And once you practice, you'll be able to remember all this. Don't worry. But if you have any confusion, understand the concept, let me know. I want to list only, sorry, I want to remove only running containers. There is another way to list only running containers. What was that? Instead of saying Docker ps-a-f status is equal to running, you can also list only running containers.
PS, Docker PS.
Yes, Docker ps. You can also do this, correct? So you can also list only running containers using Docker ps. See this? Docker ps ps-a. Okay, all. So Docker ps and then ps. Docker ps-q is fine. Now you can give this. Docker rm -f you have to use it because you're running, because you're removing running containers. Simple. This is even easy. ps-a removed all running containers. Clear with it?
Yes, sir.
I have given all those options here in the notes. You can just check. So exit rmid rm. How do you log into your stopped container? I don't know, I see the UIN different. 1 second. Screen is shared, right?
Yes.
Okay. How do you log into stop the container? Docker PS-E. First class, I told you. First or second class. So if you want to assume that the container is in shutdown mode, right? Assume that you want to log into that for some work. What do? You have to first stop the mission. Start the mission. Docker start mission name, or you can give the ID there. Docker PS-E. Mission is running now. So once the mission is running, then you can log into it using the command called docker attach. Attach. Do your work. You can install something, or you can do whatever you want there. That's how you log into a start container. If the container is already running, just say docker attach. You don't need to start it again, right? Because it is already running. Complete end. So if you want to come out of the terminal without stopping it, what is the shortcut? Control P Q. See, I came out of the container and container is still running. That's how you log into a stop container. Instead of saying, docker start, docker attach, instead of running 2 commands, you can combine both in 1 command also, like this. Docker start, then attach 2, right? Attach, correct? Instead of running these 2 commands separately, you can also do this. Docker start hyphen A means attach, okay? But you have to give AI. What this will do? This start will start the container. AI will attach a terminal. Okay, remember this way: attach input terminal, attach AI you will have to give, attach the terminal. So using single command, you can start the container and then you can attach into it. You can log it into that. So that's a command. So control PQ is for coming out of the terminal without stopping the container. Control D is for stopping the container. Instead of saying exit, just say control D. It will come out. If you want to give the name, you can give the name, hyphen name. If you want to rename, you can also rename the containers. 2 containers cannot have the same name. Okay. Because if you want to identify the container, we use container name, right? So 2 containers cannot have the same name. So if you want to create a new container with the same name, stop the container, remove the container or rename it, and then create a new one with the same name. I shown that to you. Clear with that? Any questions so far? Shall we continue for another 10-20 minutes? Is that fine? Shall we continue for another 10-20
Yeah,
minutes?
sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sure.
Okay.
I need one clarification.
Yes.
Images containers have different names. So if you have images same name, is it any possibility? Images, but here you created Ubuntu so many times, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
How-
a container. I created multiple containers from the same image, and image name is Ubuntu.
Okay. Image name is Ubuntu, container name.
Container name
That
is
is okay. Default names we are getting, but in case if you have same image name.
1 second. So this is the container name.
Names, yeah.
Right? And this container is created from image called Ubuntu. Okay. Second container is also created from the Ubuntu only. Third container is also created from Ubuntu only. So
With the same image, you are creating different containers.
Multiple containers.
Multiple containers. I got this point. Yeah. I'm asking if
Go ahead, I'll correct your question if it is not framed properly.
yeah, if images the same name means I am asking that question.
Image image name can be same. Okay,
Hmm.
okay. Let me explain the concept to you first. So let's go back how Docker creates a container. Okay. How Docker creates a container, Punyo? Say, for example, we run this command, correct? I think this is where you have the confusion. So this is my host, my Linux machine. You also have your own Linux machine, right? This is my Linux machine. In this Linux machine, I'm running this command. Docker run -id ubuntu/bin/bash. Okay. So when you run this command, what will happen? The moment you say Docker run, it will create a container for us, correct? It will create a container means a machine, a computer. And then it virtualizes the hardware. And then it has to form the operating system, right? Operating system means the kernel, and then you need Ubuntu related programs utilities. So it will bring the kernel from here. Okay. And kernel plus you need to have Ubuntu commands like ls command and all the stuff. So all those commands are in Ubuntu image. So what is it doing? It is bringing Ubuntu, image, downloading Ubuntu image, it is extracting it. So you got Ubuntu operating system. And then it is giving a name for it. For example, say Rich Harry, something like this. It's given name. So the mission name, that means the container name is Rich Harry. And this container is created from Ubuntu. Think this Ubuntu as a zip file. Okay. So this container, Rich Harry, is created from which image, Purnima? Ubuntu, correct? I want to get another container. So what I'll do? I want to create another container which is Ubuntu only. So again, I run this command second time, Docker run -it Ubuntu. So what it will do? It will again bring the hardware. It will bring the kernel. Same image it will download. In this case, since the image is already downloaded in your machine, using same image, it will extract it. So you will get again Ubuntu container. And then say poor daddy. It will give another name for this container. So another container is what? Poor daddy. And then say Ubuntu. This container is also created from Ubuntu, right? So that is the reason image is same here. Docker ps-a. So this container, Rich Harry, right? Poor daddy, for example. Both containers created from the same image. So image name is same here. Purnima, what's your question now? Any follow-up question you have? Or your question?
Now-
Question was from Aruna. Aruna was
Aruna.
having that.
Yeah.
Aruna, okay, sorry.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, okay.
Or,
Any questions?
first-
Any if see, this concept should be very clear for everybody. Aruna, any other confusions? Please go ahead. I understand. People are from non-technical background. You may be a fresher and things like that. We have mixed audience. Any other questions? Or any confusions?
So in a face machine, if you will first create a container, then it will download the image. If for second or third time.
No, it will create a container means it will virtualize the kernel sequence.
Okay.
It will virtualize the kernel. After virtualizing kernel only, it will extract it.
Yes, if we create a container of containing OS Ubuntu, then it will download the Ubuntu image for first time, and for second and third time, will it re-download or from the
It will not download because image is already present.
From the local machine only it will take.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'll show you. Since there's a question, I'll show you this. Usually I show that later. Okay, where is that image downloaded? Docker images. Okay, there is one image, right, in our Linux. So where is this? cd etc docker lib. What's it? Suddenly, I forget things very commonly. slash var lib docker, sorry. Var lib docker. So this is the var means it's operating system related, right? So normal user cannot log into it by default. So I'm logging as root. Var lib docker. See, there is one directory here called image. This is where it stores it somewhere. If you go into the directory, somewhere you have the image. Okay, you want to see that also? See this. Overlay image db content. Don't try to remember this. We don't have to work with this folder in time. Okay, how many images we have in our mission? In this Linux mission, there is one image, right? So first time when you create a container, it downloads it, right? It downloads it. It downloads it to your local machine and it will store where? Docker images. It will store in your Linux machine, right? So you have one image, it is stored here. Where is that stored? Here, this path. Proof. What is this Ubuntu image ID? F825. F825. See this? This is the image. So only once it downloads the image. Next time onwards, since the image is already present, it will just use that same image and then extract. It will not download again and again. Clear? Any other questions you have, everybody?
Sir, we can delete those download images also, na, from our local system.
Yes, you know how to delete the image, right? Docker RMI remove image Ubuntu.
Okay, so if you remove image means again while downloading it will again.
Again, it will download, yes. Yeah. So you're unable to remove because there is a container created from this image, right? So you have to force it. Docker, no images. These are called stale images. Don't worry. Okay. So if you see none here, that means think that this is not a proper image. You'll understand more about it later. If you see these kind of images in our mission for some reason, you can remove them using ID Docker RMI like this. Again, force. It is unable to delete it because it is deleted by the container. So when you sometimes you have to delete the container without deleting the container, you cannot remove the image. In this case, let me check. This is little confusing for now. I'll clear that later because there are some concepts. Don't worry about that now. Docker images, Docker ps-a. There are containers, okay? So if you want to remove the image, better you remove the container first and then remove the image. Or you can use force option also. But in this case, even though I use the force option, I'm unable to remove it because it's not a proper image. It's like a stale image, we say. So forget about this. Docker RMI is for removing the image. And if there are any containers created from that image, use Docker RMI -f.
Removing these images there will be no impact on existing containers.
No, there is no impact. So this is the image, right? Ubuntu image. We created the container. So that means what? It is running on the host, correct? It has the kernel, and then you have extracted this Ubuntu image already. So you have the Ubuntu operating system. And it's independent, it's a mission now. You can remove this because it's already extracted, right? See, you have a zip file. It is like this zip file, a.zip. You extract it, you get the A folder. Do you need a.zip? You can delete it, right? It's simple that. It as simple as that. So once the image is, extracted, you can delete the image, no issues. But by default, it is not deleting, right? If there is any container from that image, right, it is not deleting by default. You have to use -f because it is warning you, saying, you have a container from this image and then you are removing the image. Maybe just check once, right? So that's when it says By default, you cannot, but you can use -f. You're using -f means you know what exactly is doing, correct? You are doing. So just to remind you, it'll ask you to use -f.
It can be kept for further use.
What can be kept?
Images can be kept for further use.
Further use. Usually we don't delete the image. Yeah. Wanted to take a new topic, but don't want to finish it in a hurry mode. Let us start the class. Any questions you have? But I can take the questions.
Sir, like you told, like the containers behaves like a VM. So my question is like, can we take the image of a container and like build a new container from it, as we do for VM?
Yes, from the container we create the image, and then from that image we can get again another containers, multiple containers.
Okay, sir.
So we have the container, right? Some container, right? I have some installation. Some 10 tools are installed. Assume that you want 100 replicas of this container. So what do you do? From the container also you can create the image, and from image you create 100 containers. So whatever you have the container, same thing comes in the image. Whatever you have in the image, same thing comes in the container. Okay, Vishnu.
Okay, sir.
So
I'll show
is
that.
this
We'll be doing this later.
okay? So
Okay.
is this the same thing as like Docker registry?
Docker registry is the place where we store the images. So here, this is Docker Hub, right?
Yes.
Docker Hub. So in Docker Hub, we have the images, correct? So we
Yeah.
call this as a registry. Registry. So registry name is Docker Hub. Okay. I'll tell you. Registry means think it as a mission. Okay. Think it as a mission. We call that as a registry. Okay. Inside the registry, we have something called repositories. What's that? Repository. Okay, forget about it. Registry means you have a computer, because there's a separate topic on this, Ashish. So I don't want to confuse you. So this is a mission registry. This registry name is Docker Hub. This registry is created by the Docker people, and then they kept a name. For example, this is me. I can also have my own registry. Registry means a place where we store the images, and I can give my own name. For example, say AWS, right? AWS has its own registry. They call it as an elastic ECR something. Okay. For example, this is my image. Okay. I'm
Container
Walmart.
registry.
Elastic ECR, correct? Say, AWS. So they
Yes,
call
sir.
it as ECR, Elastic Container Registry. You can also create your own registry and then store your own images here, right? I give my name, say Walmart registry. So this is just a name. Docker Hub is called as a registry. So anybody can create registries and then store the images. But this Docker Hub registry is no official one, which is maintained by core Docker team.
Okay, so we can also create a registry and whatever like for a backup things, like for storing any image which we can create as a container, right?
Yeah, so we can create our own registry, and then we can there is a topic. Okay, we also create our own custom images, and we store our custom images in our own registry.
So there is one more. I like this. I have heard these words like registry and nodes.
Registry and nodes.
Yes. So it's like something Docker registry and Docker nodes.
Docker nodes are say worker nodes in Kubernetes.
I am
Kubernetes
not
you
sure.
call them as in Kubernetes you call them as worker nodes. In Docker also you can call them as Docker nodes. Yeah, that concept is there.
Okay, so node is something like for containerization for that one.
See this. So here, everybody. I'm just guessing because maybe in this context you may be having you would have heard node. Do we in real time do we run multiple containers on the same host? No, right? Say I have some containers, okay, 10 containers. If this host goes down, very simple. I have created 10 containers on this particular Linux machine. If this Linux machine is down, then all containers will die, correct? So that's not how we run containers in real time. Instead, we run containers in clusters like this. So there is one, this is called a node, Ashish. This is
Okay.
host. Okay. These are the nodes. Host 2, host 3. Right? Say you can call it as Docker node. Node 1, node 2, node 3. OS, and then Docker, right? Hardware, OS, Docker, hardware, OS, Docker install. So Sundar, you want to create 100 containers. So we create 100 containers on maybe 10 containers we create on this node. 10 containers we create on this node. Maybe some more containers we create on this particular node. Okay. And say, for example, for some reason this node goes down. How many containers are running on this? Say 10. Okay, 3 say, for example. So Docker can automatically create those 3 containers. See, if this node goes down, yes, these 3 containers will die. But you want, if 3 are dying, then you want 3 more, right? Replacement, right? So what it will do? It will go and then create a replacement for you on another nodes. So this is for the cluster. So in real time, we create the containers on the cluster. Cluster means pool of machines. These machines are joined together. So these machines have, some, when you have attached these 3 machines. So in this context, you would have heard node 1, node 2, node 3.
Okay. So we don't have to create, like suppose if this node dies, so we don't have to create like another containerization for this. It will automatically get created.
No, we have to set up this node. That means you take a mission, okay? There are some commands. You have to go to this mission. You have to say for Docker attach node this IP. So these 2 missions are attached. These 2 missions are attached. So then only they can, they'll know, okay, if one goes down, then others will take the load. So you have to attach these 2 missions using some commands.
Okay. But if this goes down, then how we can get the ID or something like that?
No idea of what? This mission?
Yes, suppose in this node, there are like 3 containers is running. So if it dies, then how we can get the ID, like name or something to attach it?
I mean, if these three nodes are, sorry, if these 3 containers are going down, how it is creating the replacement for 3? This is what your question is, right?
Yes.
It knows. See, there is inside the Docker, you have a tool called Swarm, Docker Swarm. So this is the concept using which you can create the cluster. Okay. Docker Swarm, node 1, node 2, node 3. Likewise, using the Swarm command, you do this. Okay. This Swarm command knows. This is again, a software running in your mission. It is as part, it comes part of your Docker. So assume that I told this Swarm, I want 100 containers at any point of time. Okay. 100 containers. So I have given the desert state for it. This is the defined state. I want 100 containers. Just tell this Swarm, you have to configure that in Swarm. I want 100 containers. So it knows what you want. For some reason, if some containers go down, right, it gets alert and then it creates other 3 containers for you with new name, with new email ID. With new name and new IP address. If you want to create other containers with the same IP also, it is possible. So you have to configure all those things in Swarm, and then it will get the job done. That's how it works. 1 second. I'll take. Ashish, any follow-up questions?
No.
So Ashish, just for your information, since you asked the question, so these days we don't use this Swarm. Okay. So we need this cluster for sure.
Okay.
So in Docker earlier, we used to use that Swarm tool for creating this cluster. Okay. But we need cluster for sure. Node 1, node 2, node 3. And we cannot, because we cannot create the containers on a single node, right? We need to have a cluster. So earlier we used to create this cluster using the Docker Swarm tool, but now we have Kubernetes. Okay. Kubernetes is far better than this Docker Swarm. So we don't create the cluster using Docker Swarm these days. Same thing we do using Kubernetes now. So in Kubernetes, you will understand what is this cluster, all that stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
This cluster concept seems like a load balancer. Is there any difference? Load balancer.
Load balancer.
Like same concept only. We need to separate the Dockers.
No, both are different, Anna. So
Okay.
load balancer means what? Say like you have, say 10 containers. This is a load balancer. When somebody types flipkart.com, it will send the request to different missions. So the request is processed, different request is processed in different missions. Here it is not. You cannot relate this to the load balancer. No.
Oh, okay.
Sir, is it similar to auto-scaling group?
High availability, you can say.
Yeah.
Hard
Okay.
scaling
So in that case,
concept.
like in this cluster, we have multiple nodes, and in these multiple nodes, we have multiple cluster containers, and there will be different tasks running on these containers. Let's say any of these containers fails, then what will happen to this task? Probably it will fail. Then how we can fix that?
Very sorry, Vishnu. Please come again.
Okay, like in this cluster, there are multiple nodes, and in these multiple nodes, there are multiple containers. And let's say like we are having some task running on containers, and one of the containers got some issue, like for some memory issue or something. This task will get errored out. So how can we fix this task? Like how can we rerun this task by identifying which all are errored out?
You'll be having multiple missions doing the same thing. For example, this is running task 1, right? There won't be only one mission which is running the task 1. There will be multiple missions running the task 1, right? So task 2, for example, task 2. So you have 3 containers running task 1. We won't be having one. We should not have one. We have to have multiple for high availability purpose. If this goes down, right, then task is not interrupted here. Right? Task is still running, but you may see some delay because you have less machines doing that task. In that case, the moment Kubernetes identifies that okay, this container is down, what it will do? It will quickly create a new one for you. And container creation is very quick. Within less than a second, it will bring a new one for you. So there won't be much impact. So when you have 10, for example, right? If one goes down, then it will quickly create. That's how it works.
Okay.
That's how it fixes the problem here.
Okay. So, sir, like, is it like ECS in AWS, something similar to that? This cluster configuration?
ECS means?
Like Elastic Container Service.
Elastic
like
Container
I have also.
Elastic Container Service is a way. So if you want to create containers in AWS Cloud, then they have their own way of creating the containers. That is ECS. Elastic Container Service. Using this service, you can get multiple containers. You can do all this. You can set up the cluster. You can run the applications. ECS is their own way of deploying the application in the containers.
Okay.
Elastic Container Service. That means storing, using, and all the stuff. See,
Okay, sir. So like, apart from that, sir, like we have multiple nodes, right? So in order to get like more out of these resources, can we mix up sport instances as well as on-demand instances, and like can we have that such kind of a complex configuration?
They're mixing the AWS also, I guess.
I mean, like we'll have a cluster which has multiple nodes, and let's say like can we like get the combination of sport instances as well as on-demand instances.
I may answer your question.
So that like the course go, I mean like the sport instances as well as on-demand instances. Can we get those kind of configuration?
I don't understand sport instance and on-demand because I don't have much knowledge in AWS. See this. I may see it. What is spot instance, right? Okay.
Yeah.
You can use anything. Vishnu should be okay. Can we use spot? I thought you were telling spot instance, and what is the other one?
On-demand. on demand.
Should be possible. All that you need is a mission there. It's just as part of you can use both. You can use Vishnu.
Okay, sir.
Others, you should not worry about this cluster at all. No, Ashish brought this question. He would have heard. He heard about this term, so that was his question. There was a question. You will understand all these clusters, all this stuff in Kubernetes. Don't worry. Okay. Now don't think that you did not hear anything. Otherwise, you'll get confused. You know my way of explanation, right? So I'll try my level best to clear these concepts. Don't worry, you'll understand. For now, just leave it. Any other questions for me today?
Sir, actually, like while installing this Docker, I got stuck in after putting the command like get docker.sh. Can I share my screen? Like I got stuck over there.
You can share the screen.
Mine also same problem.
I'll
My-
share my screen. Okay. Just this entire screen. And is it visible, sir? My screen?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, sorry. So, when I given this command, like after this, this one, so curl fsh. After giving this, again
Okay.
you told there is one more command during installation. This one, sudo sh get hyphen docker.
Where you have taken this command from? From our notes?
No, sir. I have taken from this Google. From there also I found the same, and you told to refer this for the reference part. Through this link from Google, I have taken. I have that typed over there.
Okay, so Control L.
1 second. Okay.
Enter.
Sorry. One. Okay.
LS.
ls.
You reduce the screen size, no? So that you don't need to. You don't need to work with the scroll bar. Okay, let's fix this first. Okay, maximize the screen.
One nimisha.
LS.
Okay, I have entered ls.
Don't use that. That's a wrong one. That's not working now. LS.
Yeah.
Where is that downloaded file?
It should be there, actually.
The file was not downloaded. Can you download it and run that curl command again? Copy paste. Copy that from the internet.
It's not. I have to type.
Control Shift V. Okay, because that file is in Windows.
Yes, sir.
You go to
Why it's not
browser
correct?
and then just say copy it from the official website. Same thing.
Just a minute, sir. Why it's
Close this one.
yeah, one.
Let's
I'll take from.
You cannot copy it, right?
Yeah, it's not.
No, you have to open that browser in the Linux machine. You're opening in Windows now. You cannot copy from Windows to Linux.
Yeah.
Fox.
Open the browser in Linux machine.
Okay.
Open the browser. You don't have Firefox. Search for Firefox.
Oh, it's not. I don't know why my mouse is getting stuck here. Okay.
There's a shortcut left side.
Yeah, it's working.
Just type download Docker for Ubuntu.
Yeah.
Click on it. Scroll down. Down.
Yeah, it's
Down. Yeah. Scroll up. Oh, this one. Copy that curl command. No, don't use that. It'll copy both.
sorry.
Take one.
Okay. It's okay.
Scroll down. Not that. Scroll down. Up.
I think this one.
Yeah. Kernel. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not pasting over here.
Right click. What it is?
Right click. Okay.
Paste.
Oh, it's
Alt
coming.
both Shift V.
Oh, why it's taking somewhat.
You're not copied properly. Remove the tilde symbol at the end. Backspace.
Yes.
Come front.
It's quite different.
Before curl, remove everything. Some special characters are added because you are not copied it properly. Enter. ls. Run that same command, whatever they have given there. Go to the browser.
Sorry.
No, Linux browser. You cannot copy from there. Run that second command. Don't copy extra spaces. Copy exact one. Yeah.
This one. Okay, I have copied.
So is it test docker or get docker?
Okay, we are copying.
Is it fine? Should I enter?
This not this URL. Sorry, Punya.
I think so. That is this one. I think so. One minute, or like second.
No, that's okay. In the same image. Go up.
I think this is the one.
1 second. Go up. One second. Scroll down.
In notes, I think this is the one. Like
Scroll down. Little bit. No. Slowly.
1 minute. Sorry.
Up. 1 second. This one only.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay. Shit. Is it fine?
Enter.
Okay.
ls. Take the other command from the browser.
So just now.
Left side terminal is there, no? Click on that. The shortcut, left side. Go left. That one.
Oh.
Enter.
Executing Docker installs.
Copy paste those two in the Zoom link so that everybody can follow that. Curl command.
This two both links. Okay.
I'll also update the notes.
Sir, I got a warning message. To run Docker as a non-privileged user, consider setting up Docker daemon in rootless mode.
Shall I share it in the
You can
chat?
ignore it. Share it in the chat.
Okay. Or I'm sorry. Okay.
Second command also.
Yes, sir.
If anybody is facing the issues, use these two commands for installation. Notes has a different.
Yes, sir. It's different, sir. Like in notes I found it's like this one, sir. Where it is. I'll
Yes.
show. In notes it is this one, sir. These two. Dry run.
No, dry run is not there.
Yeah.
Send those commands in the chat.
Commands. Okay. I have pasted. Okay. The links has been gone. Okay, sir. Sure, I'll send that.
Can you copy paste immediately in now itself?
I've copied it. Is going something. It's pasting like links.
In the top right, like you can see the copy icon.
You can use copy but now.
Yeah, I mean like there in that box itself there is a copy icon.
Click
Yeah,
something.
one. Okay.
Earlier you tried to copy, no? Now
Yes,
you
I have.
symbol.
So when I give like I have copied it, but it's not pasting like a link itself.
Now because you are copying in you're copying Linux, your Zoom is in Windows now.
No, already you open starting you open outside the Linux machine. Yeah, from there you can copy and Zoom you can paste. Yeah, from here.
Let me do it. I'll do.
Sorry, I got confused.
No.
Daily I'm doing same thing.
After some time you'll get used to it.
I did not actually still have to practice. I have to practice it because I got stuck here. So
yes. More time you operate the machine, more easily you will do the things. Okay, I'm pasting this too. Okay, the chat box.
I think now I'll.
Can everybody see? Curl command and sudo sh get docker.sh. You can use both.
So now also now I've sent it.
It's okay. Don't just follow my two commands. Okay. Open the terminal. Click on the left side. Go click on that icon. No. You don't need to minimize every time.
Yeah.
Just click on the icons. Yeah. Down. Scroll down. Okay. Now Docker is installed. Docker version.
I'm getting the same message.
This is just a warning. Don't worry.
Sudo. I think we have to use sudo.
Type. Let's see. Okay. Without sudo, if you want to run, you have to add your username to the group. Follow the nodes.
Okay. Oh yes, sure.
Docker is installed now. Ignore that error log. And
hello.
One second.
When I sudo, okay.
Minimize this terminal. Good.
Okay.
You have the scroll box. Okay. So the scroll box is working with that is very difficult. Let's remove that. Close it. Minimize it. Sorry. Right click. If anybody wants to quit, you can quit. Display settings,
Okay.
resolution. You have 1280 by 80, right? Minimize it to
Yes.
768. No. I think I have to reduce or increase.
After
1280.
ready.
Okay, 768. Apply. Okay, keep changes. Take the another value, lower one. 768. 768. Let's apply. Is it increasing or decreasing? Take one more.
It's decreasing, sir. It's decreasing. It's
800
848.
by 800 by 600. Okay, right, whatever.
I have kept
So take the another one. Let's see. 848 by. Did you try that? 10,024 768.
Yes, sir.
Did you try that? Enter.
Yes, I'll do that.
Okay, that is not suitable. Go with the previous one. Yeah.
It was this.
Okay. Keep changes. So this is the minimize. Close it. This is the maximum size you can have. If you want to have more size, you have to live with that. Scroll bar.
Resolution. Yeah. Yes.
So
Yeah.
if you want to big screen and then big screen, then you need to have that scroll box. Your wish. Whatever convent you can. Without
Okay,
scroll, this is the one you get.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Okay, you can stop your screen, Punya.
Sir, this both commands are doing same thing or different? Sudo sh get docker.sh and in another way get CS using CS mode and directly running the.
Anyone you can follow. Better follow whatever is there in that website.
Okay.
Or you can follow the things that I have in my notes. Anything is fine.
Okay. Both will do the same thing.
Both are same, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I think it's too late. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.